Hey everyone, it's Clint here with CWT Music Academy and BigCitySoundStudio.com. Today we're going to work on something that I work on with my students, mainly for the beginners that are still working on their chords. One thing that we are trying to get better at as guitarists, especially in the first couple of months of playing, is to have our chords sound good when we start playing. A lot of times we start playing a chord, you know, like a C right here, and we start to play and you get that going on. And, you know, you feel like you're almost getting there, but why doesn't it sound like that? So I'm going to give you 5 tips today that'll help you take chords like that or anything that you're having an issue with, like maybe the dreaded F chord, right? That one right there, and make this better, okay? So tip number 1 is you're going to make sure you have proper finger placement. So let's take that C, for example. Okay, so this third finger should be on the 5-string 3rd fret. This middle finger should be on the 4th string 2nd fret. This first finger should be on the 2nd string 1st fret. You're supposed to have this angle where your fingers are going to be like this, almost like some kind of spider. So when you play, imagine you're holding some kind of like apple. You put the hand around the guitar. You want that placement to be set up where everything is nice, right? And you don't want to be flat. You don't want to be flat with your fingers. No flatness. You want to be angled. Flat, angled. Now we got to find the happy medium. So here's how you do it. You start playing the note and rolling your finger till it sounds good. Then you do it on the next string. Now you check. Hit the string that's below this note that's an open string. Keep rolling your finger till you can hear that ring out nice and clear. And do it with the same one. The one I find my students have a lot of issues with is the C note right here on the 2nd string, 1st fret. So what I tell them to do is go ahead and get their fingers started like this, and then start hitting the 1st string and roll this finger up till you can hear that 1st string ring out nicely. There you go. And then you're going to check your work. Really make sure you got that right finger placement. And then you also want to make sure that you got that pressure right. Okay, so this brings me to tip number 2. Tip number 2, you're going to pick this out. So you're going to take this chord and you're going to pick every note that's available for the chord. So the C chord is used with the 5 string all the way down to the 1st string. The 6th string is not available, so don't play that one. But you set up your chord right here and you pick 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if it doesn't sound like that, we got to work on it, right? There you go. Just like that right there. And keep working on it. Like maybe it sounds like this. Working on it. You keep angling the fingers till you get it right, and then you keep picking it out. Now one thing you can also do is you can do multiple hits on each string to give you more time to work it out. So you can go like that right there. Pick this out and it sounds good, then more than likely everything else is going to sound great when you strum it. Okay. All right, tip number 3 is rapid fire left hand. So you take your chord, you take your shape like this right here, and what you're going to do is you're going to basically rapid fire, push down, relax, and squeeze, and almost like you're squeezing a baseball with all three. Then you can maybe do it with individual fingers. It's going to really develop that strength in your fingers. After doing it a while, you'll probably feel it in your forearm right here too. There we go. Okay, so if you do this for a couple of rounds for each chord, you're going to develop some serious second nature burst with your fingers. All right, so that's the left hand rapid fire, tip number 3. Okay, tip number 4 is to intonate the guitar. Make sure that you're intonating your notes. So this is a great way to practice to make sure that you're hitting the note in a right kind of intonating way, tune. Like, you don't want to be right here. That sounds bad. In the middle is okay, but right here behind the fret is the sweet spot. So make sure every note and every finger is set up that way. Now, I have some awesome exercises that I've already got set up with a video. You can check them out right there if you haven't already. That'll help you develop some great intonation. They're really good exercises to warm up with, and I would definitely suggest you try those out if you haven't already. But you want to make sure that you're in tune as well. So make sure you tune up your guitar before you practice, and then go ahead and work on your intonation. Yeah, if you're off, if it sounds kind of like this, you know that your intonation's off. Make sure to get it right there behind the fret. And this works for any kind of chord. I'm using C for just simplicity. I mean, we could be doing some weird chord, you know, and all the principles will still apply to that. But we're just kind of keeping it simple with C, because a lot of challenges happen with C when you're first starting. Okay, great. So tip 4 is to use intonation and to make sure you're intonating your notes well. To use your ear, you know, listen to it, make sure it sounds good. Make sure the guitar is in tune. The 5th and final tip is the reflex check. Now what this is you're going to play the chord and you're going to take it off the guitar, put it on your leg or something, your hand, and then come back as fast as you can and see how well your first impression of your reflex is to make the chord, right? So that rapid fire exercise that we did a couple of tips ago, tip number 3, I believe it is, this was a great precursor to this. So you're going to play the chord, take it off, put it back, play as fast as you can. So you still want to use the best intonation possible. You want to make sure that every note is ringing out. So in a way, this is kind of like that quick check. How are you doing? Is everything coming together okay? Good deal. All right, so yeah, try this with all the chords that you've worked on so far, and this will really help you develop that chord change mentality, because when you go, you're really taking that finger off the guitar, making that shape. That's pretty much what you're doing. So this is kind of training you to make the guitar chord from nowhere, from midair. All right, so tip number 5 is reflex check. All right, great. Guys, thank y'all for checking this out. I know this is a little bit over the place. I've got the camera in a different angle, and it's a little weird, and I'm still getting used to like doing this with a reverse type of mindset. So y'all forgive me. Please have some grace. But also, hit the like and subscribe button. Guys, thank you for checking this out. If you stuck around to the whole end, thank you very much. And Lord willing, I'll see you guys soon. Y'all have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you then.